time to answer some questions off of the UWSP Love Confessions Facebook page. We would like to extend a huge thank you to the page administrator for offering their support with our endeavors here at the Love Doctor. We sincerely hope that we can offer some help to your confessors. The first confession is, I am really having a hard time finding a city guy who is not a jerk. I am sick of getting my heart broken when I think I have found a good one. I do not want a relationship based on sex. I want a best friend who I can talk to about anything with and have fun together. Where are you guys at? Well, I think the first mistake there is you're narrowing yourself down to one type. And I don't think anyone really fits into one type, you know? And if you're looking just right at that stereotypical genre there, you're really, just knocking out a whole bunch of people that you could possibly get along with. And I used to do the same thing. I used to be like, country boys, that's the only thing that'll work for me and nothing else. And that's what I used to do personally. And now I'm kind of like, maybe that's not the best idea for me. So that's where I'm at with that. And as far as the relationship based on certain things, you really just have to be on the same page, be direct with the person with what you're looking for, and if they're a decent person, they'll be direct back, and you can agree on something that you can work together with on, I think.
Yeah, it's strange, because we're in Wisconsin, so there's a large combination of country and city boys.
Right.
Like, nobody's one type.
Exactly.
And I think you just have to kind of know what you want specifically in a guy. Like, do you want somebody who can go out and get food from the forest with a gun, or do you just want somebody who's just going to go with you to the supermarket and buy meat out of the grocery aisle? And I think if you know what you want then you can help a little bit, and you can avoid looking necessarily for types and more just personality traits that somebody
Right.
has. I mean, I've heard somebody said, it's like, I can only date black guys now. And it's like, well, you're kind of cutting off a large section of the population now.
Really are.
You want to keep your mind open to the idea of being able to date really anybody.
For sure. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't classify myself as one type. I don't know what I would classify myself stereotypically as. So it'd be hard to look at someone and be like, you are this. But I try anyhow, as I just said.
I think people miss a lot of people when they do that, and it's like people will just kind of be blindsided, and there might be someone that you really like, but you'll just be like, oh, well, I can't date you because you're a country boy, you live up in the forest and stuff. So I mean, I do have to agree with you guys. It's just it narrows yourself in. However, it is good to once in a while do something like, for example, I'm just going to use this, like, career-wise. I mean, I want to be a journalist. I'll just use myself as an example. I want to be a journalist, and it might be hard for me to date someone who's let's say, like, a forester who's always, like, in Alaska and is, like, working up there and constantly gone, and then I'm constantly moving. So it's not really a type thing, but you do have to see, like, what you guys are doing.
Practically look at what you want, yeah.
It's like you have to see if it's basically realistic, type or no type. So I think just don't box yourself in.
Right. I agree. I think we're all on the same page with that.
I think so.
So moving on to our next confession. Sometimes I wonder why I keep going back to you after you have hurt me so many times. But then I look at you and realize I am basically looking in a mirror. You are so much like me that I cannot let you go, even if I should. Well, that sounds like an interesting relationship, and it kind of sounds like it might be somebody's first relationship. I know I've only really had one relationship in my life, and it took me a little bit to get over with. But
And it always does, that first
I was
one,
able
especially.
to, I did get over it, just I came to accept it, and I realized we weren't right for each other.
Right.
Even if we had some similarities, it was better to move on and just worry about something else.
It really is. And if someone is hurting you, and I mean especially repeatedly, it's best to just let it go and move on, because you will find someone who's better suited for you, or you'll be happier alone for a while. And that's just how it is. That's just the nature of it. I mean, I've had the same thing. It took me a long time to get over my first relationship, and then when I did, it was like, I'm finally free, because that would have never worked. It was just absolutely impractical.
Kind of going off of the vein of first relationships, and you guys were saying that's the hardest. It's always so hard to pinpoint a first relationship and a first love, because I feel like almost with every new love interest you have, you feel like refreshed. You're like, this is the person. Like, you don't go into a relationship saying, this is gonna suck so much.